Guy Rawlings from Montgomery's Restaurant. We're here with the Burnbrae Farms Culinary series. Today we're going to be making a salt-cured yolk dressing with heirloom tomatoes and a selection of herbs from my garden. The first thing we're going to start with is the salt-cured yolk dressing. So this isn't necessarily your traditional sauce you would make with some eggs, but I thought I would change it up and do something maybe you haven't seen before. So the idea is we're going to take some eggs, we're going to separate the yolks from the whites, we're going to cure them in some sugar and some salt. That will stay curing for about 12 hours. Then we take it out of that, like little dinosaur eggs, we're going to unbury them, we're going to dry them out, and we're going to make a sauce out of that. So first step, let's cure the yolks. So for that, we're going to need a mixture of salt and sugar. We're doing about 50% of each. And we're going to mix that one together. So we're going to create some little craters. So when we separate those yolks, they won't run away from us. So there's a couple ways to separate these. You can do the old school method where you just use the shells. You can also crack them all gently into a bowl. And then you can scoop the yolks out one by one. All right, now at this point, we just bury it in the sugar and the salt mix. And that's it for that stage. It's got to sit like that for 12 hours, so we would saran wrap that, put it into the fridge, and let it cure overnight. All right, now it's time to make the salt-cured yolk dressing. So that's what it looks like in the end. You can use this in lots of different ways. One of my preferred ways is to just grate it over top of vegetables the same way you would Parmesan cheese. Adds a nice depth and salty touch to a dish. But in this case, we're going to blend it in and make a sauce for some vegetables. So 3 ingredients, the salt-cured yolks, some kimchi that we made, and then the juice from the kimchi. In a lot of cases, people throw this stuff out. It's actually a great health tonic. You can actually drink straight up. It has tons of flavor, complex flavor from the bacteria that's in it, acidity, salt, so it's the perfect seasoning agent for something like a dressing. So for this one, we're going to use 3 salt-cured yolks. We have 100 grams of kimchi, 100 grams of the juice. And it's really that simple, where it's just 2 ingredients, the yolks and the kimchi, and then we use 2 different parts of the kimchi. You just pop it all together and let it blend. Now, in an ideal world, you would let that run actually for quite a long time, about 4 minutes, which sounds ridiculous, but we're taking a dried product and we're rehydrating it with that ferment juice. So I'm gonna stop it there, because again, magically, I already have some made. This dressing is gonna be like deep in umami flavor. We've got the yolks that are being cured, the acidity and complexity from the ferments. So it's not something you're gonna really just pour over a steak or something. It's something you would use as an accent or a base. So we're just gonna dress the bottom of the plate with the dressing, slice some tomatoes, pop those on top. With tomatoes as well, don't be shy with the salt. I know there's times to be concerned about the health side of it and like how much salt you eat, but really tomatoes need as much salt as like a piece of meat. So we're gonna assemble the dish. So a little bit of our dressing, and we'll just spread it around. You don't want to get huge bites of this, because again, it is intense. And then some tomatoes. And with these, really, you can cut them however you want. I'm just doing it randomly, whatever kind of grabs me. So these guys, I'm gonna season on the side and let them absorb the salt for a minute. This is a good move with any raw vegetables. even if you're eating a little bit of crudité or something, or if you're putting a heartier vegetable like a carrot in a salad, let the salt do its work. You season it, and like right now when you look at the vegetable, you can see the salt. Let that salt like pull out the natural water of that vegetable. I'm just gonna place them kind of in an even layer. So that way every bite you get a little bit of the dressing. And then we're gonna use all our different herbs. So on the wood sorrel, I'm gonna focus not on the leaves, but the buds, just because they're not always around. I think it's always nice to embrace the things when they appear. All right, we're gonna add some nasturtiums. Don't be afraid of the stems on these guys. They have a nice peppery and watery crunch to them. And then my favorite, the shungiku. We're gonna use a combination of the buds. Again, not too many of these. They're pretty intense. And then the shungiku themselves. This, I don't fuss too much. Just wherever it naturally falls. And I don't want to be shy with them. Radish pods. And you may ask, where can I buy these radish pods? Probably nowhere. You're gonna have to grow them yourself. So get some radish seeds, leave them in the ground, don't pick them, let them just do their thing. And then whenever we have herbs that flower, I love just rubbing the flowers, and just letting them fall. And then you just get a bit of that essence and that smell. And mint too. Mint and tomatoes, good friends. A little bit of hot sauce as well, and then you get like the cooling hot effect. It's a nice combo. Should we have a little bite? See how we did? I think the yellow ones are always my favorite. At first you get the gentle savoriness of the shungiku, and then a wood sorrel pod came out of nowhere, and then a radish pod, and it was lemon and spice, and then the mint flowers, just like a nice cooling effect afterwards. Really pleased with that. I'm Guy Rawlings from Montgomery's Restaurant. That was my salt-cured yolk dressing with tomatoes and garden herbs. Thank you for watching the Burnbrae Farms Culinary Series.